Welcome to my channel, where we're all about taking control of your finances and achieving your goals. If you're ready to take control of your finances and start making your money work for you, then let's dive in. Today we'll be discussing a topic that may sound mundane, but it's one of the most important aspects of personal finance. We're talking about creating a budget that works for you. A budget is simply a plan of how much money you're going to earn and spend in a fixed period, usually a month. A budget helps you to direct your money towards the things that matter the most, avoid overspending or overborrowing, and ultimately achieve your financial goals. But, how do you create a budget that will work for you, rather than the other way around? Here are our top 8 tips for creating a budget that works for you in the long run. Tip number 1. Track your income. The first step in creating a budget is to know how much money you have coming in. This includes your salary, any freelance income, any rental income, or any other income that comes your way. If you are on a fixed salary, this step is easy, you just need to look at your paycheck. However, if you have multiple income sources, it may be a good idea to keep a spreadsheet or a financial journal to keep track of all your income. Once you've noted down all your income sources, you need to add them all up to get your gross income. This is the amount you earn before taxes, deductions, or other expenses. Tip number 2. List your expenses. The second step in creating a budget is to track your expenses. This is where most people get stuck because there are many minor and major expenses that can add up over a month. To make it easier, start by categorizing your expenses. Your expenses can be divided into 3 main categories: fixed expenses, variable expenses, and discretionary expenses. Fixed expenses are the expenses that remain constant and you can't change much, such as rent, car payments, mortgage payments, or school fees. Variable expenses, on the other hand, are those expenses that can change from time to time, such as groceries, fuel, or utility bills. These expenses fluctuate depending on your lifestyle. Discretionary expenses are the expenses that you make on things that aren't necessary or urgent, such as vacations, movies, or shopping. Once you've categorized your expenses, it's time to list them all down, including the amounts you're likely to spend. Tip number 3. Prioritize your expenses. The third step in creating a budget is to prioritize your expenses. This means you have to decide which expenses are essential and which ones are less important. Essential expenses are expenses that can't be avoided, such as rent or mortgage payments, groceries, utilities, or car payments. These expenses should take up the lion's share of your budget. Non-essential expenses, on the other hand, are those expenses that can be reduced or eliminated. For instance, dining out frequently, buying expensive clothes or gadgets, or getting a manicure every week. While these things might be enjoyable, you must make sure they don't affect your life goals in the long term. If you have some debts, you should also prioritize them by allocating a significant portion of your budget to paying them off as fast as possible. Focus on high-interest debts first because they cost you much more in the long term. Tip number 4. Create a safety net. Having a safety net is crucial in helping you maintain your budget. Emergencies such as medical bills, car repairs, or unexpected house expenses could happen at any time, and if you're not prepared, it could derail your budget. Always have an emergency fund set aside to cover such unexpected expenses. Tip number 5. Create your budget. The next step is creating a budget. This is where you combine everything you've learned so far. Start by subtracting your expenses from your income to see if you have a surplus or deficit. If you have a surplus, congratulations. You can use that excess to save up for emergencies, pay off debts, save for your long-term goals, or invest the money into something that will bring you returns over the next years. If you have a deficit, it means you're spending more than you earn, which is a recipe for financial disaster. This is a good time to assess your expenses again to see where you can cut back. Tip number 6. Review and adjust your budget. This step in creating a budget is to review it frequently and make adjustments when necessary. Your budget is not a one-time activity. It's something you have to do every month. Review your budget and track your expenses regularly to see how you're doing. If you notice that you're overspending in a particular category, adjust your budget accordingly. Sometimes your income or expenses may change, so your budget needs to adjust too. For example, if you've received a raise, you may want to allocate some of that extra income towards savings or investments. Tip number 7. Set achievable goals. Goals are essential in helping you stay on track and remain focused. When setting your financial goals, make sure they are achievable and realistic. For instance, if you want to save $10,000 in a year, you need to break down your goal into smaller, achievable ones. You can set a goal of saving $800 per month or $200 per week, making it easier for you to track your progress. Tip number 8. Celebrate your achievements. It's essential to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they are. When you achieve a financial goal, take time to celebrate it. A simple celebration such as going out for a nice dinner or taking a weekend getaway can motivate you to achieve even more. Creating a budget that works for you may seem daunting at first, but it's a crucial step towards achieving financial success. Remember to track your income and expenses, prioritize your expenses, create your budget, and review and adjust it regularly. We hope this video has helped you in creating a budget that works for you. If you have any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more personal finance tips and tricks.